Hello everyone, myself Mumuksha Malviya, CEO of Kamatek ISPL. So let's start with our live stream. CEO, always, having very an attitude, but this is not a something like that video. Quick question I'm going to ask you is, how many of you, panic when your phone rings from an unknown number? Now imagine your, server crashing at, 2 a.m. or a chemical, leak in your factory, or your client, sending urgent in the subject line. That's panic into, thousand. But guys, what if I told you that there's an AI that sees disaster, coming before you do? It's not your mother's sixth sense or your, nosy neighbors, aunties. It's Snagex, you know. Yes, Snagex, your AI powered, incident management superhero. And today, in the next couple of minutes, I'll show you how Snagex can save your factory, your company, and maybe your even weekend plans. So yeah, type SOS in the chat if you ever faced a last minute workspace crisis. So before Snagex incident looked like this, something that 35 people in WhatsApp group I've seen but doing nothing, or maybe hundreds of email with reply all and zero action. And that one guy says, ma'am, I was on leave that day. And that's not incident management, that's chaos management. So for example, remember when the IPL streaming server crashed, millions lost, and traditional system were too late. Would have flagged it instantly. But here's why Snagex is different. It detects incident in real time, sends alert to the right person instantly, and it also auto signs task. With no more blame game. Yeah. And it also AI learns pattern to prevent the next disaster. So let's just think of Snagex as your most efficient employee. It never takes coffee breaks, or never calls in sick, and and always says ma'am handled, something like that. So all right, everyone. I've already told you what Snagex basically is, but let me tell you, how Snagex has saved because stories behind the truth to life. So now let's just quickly dive into the first scenario. So I'll picture this in a way that a factory was there in Pune, and it was, I guess, midnight shift. Yeah, it was a midnight shift. The machine was humming, and everyone was half sleepy. Near the paint shop, a tiny smoke trail just starts rising. And normally no one would notice until it's too late. But with traditional systems, by morning they would they wouldn't have flames, chaos, insurance papers, and probably tears. Now guys, but with Snagex, it spotted unusual temperature patterns in just few seconds, and alert went straight to the supervisor's phones, and power was cut automatically, and the sprinklers activated, and emergency number alerted. And guys, by the time the supervisors reached the scene, the danger was already neutralized. And that's why the workers call snag eggs their night watchman, who never blinks. And the next morning, instead of facing fire trucks, the team was sipping coffee, and literally they were laughing about how, so AI literally roasted the fire before it could roast them. So yeah, the second incident I remember was the hospital. It was, I guess, hospital server outage, I guess. Yeah, that could have cost lives. So this one, this gave me really gave me goosebumps, because I just really wanted to. Uh, I was never ready to share this, but anyway, it was a multi-speciality hospital, in Delhi, and it was midnight, and it was ICU packed. Yeah, it was an ICU pack, and suddenly the hospital's server faces abnormal traffic loads, and normally this means test reports freeze, and doctors can't access patient data, lives are put on a risk. And imagine being a doctor, waiting for MRI results that never load. That's not downtime. That's something life and death. So guys, SnagX saw it coming. It flagged unusual loads patterns, hours before crash time, and instantly, rerouted the data to backups. Even the IT heads, when we talk about the IT heads, got an alert saying, the crisis already neutralized. And the CIO, told me later that SnagX didn't just save, our system, it saved our patients. And that, my friend, is when I realized, the SnagX isn't just a product, or isn't just a AI smart software. It's a guardian angel, disguised as AI. So, yeah, that was it. And the third story I remember was, it was, what was that, it was, I guess, a warehouse safety scare, that ended in laughter. Literally, I'll tell you why. So uh Bangalore, I guess. Yeah, it was a logistics warehouse, and a worker, literally, a worker walks in without his helmet, and we all know how this plays out. The supervisor scolded, HR file reports, and safety posters go ignored. But with SnagX, AI camera caught it instantly. A loudspeaker just exploded, and workers in the zone 3, please wear helmets. It was like an alert kind of thing. The poor guy, literally, he froze, like, God himself was talking to him, and he dashed back, grabbing his helmet, and the entire team bursted into laughter. And to be very honest, it was a really funny scene that was happening over there. You know, now imagine, if that slips turn into an accident. Instead of paperwork, and hospital bills, all they got was a funny story. So, the workers now, call SnagX their digital, supervisor, and honestly, it doesn't, it does a job better than humans without yelling once. Yeah, and so you see, SnagX isn't just softwares, or it's the difference between losing a factory or saving it. Better, between losing minutes or saving lives, between accidents and laughters. So that's why I keep saying, everyone, that SnagX is the AI that roasts disaster before they even happens. So if you had SnagX at home, what would you do? What would you want to manage? Would be mom's Wi-Fi rage, or dad snoring, or fridge running out of ice cream? So yeah, just comment below. So yeah, then uh yeah, when we talk about all these things, incident cost billions globally every year. Fire, IT outages, and factory accidents. These aren't just statistics. They're families, jobs, lives. And guys, SnagX isn't just software. It's a guardian, as I already said. It gives you those just first 30 seconds, that can decide between survival and disaster. So, with SnagX, emergencies turned into opportunities to act faster, to act faster, smarter, safer. And I'm just going to repeat all those things what we have learned from this live streams, so that old system is equal to the chaos. And SnagX, when we talk about SnagX, It's about, clarity, speed, and, safety. And yeah, when all those things happens, incident don't wait. With SnackX, neither do you. Remember, we can't control when any disaster try to happen, but we can control how fast we can stop them. So yeah, let's just head back to our Q&A sessions. Yeah. So, those who guys are new here, we always have a Q&A session in our live streams. So I'll be reading some of the question and that you guys have sent me through DMs and mails and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll just start with our Q&A sessions. So let me just open the Q&A sessions. What are questions? Okay, I got the questions. Now, okay, one of our audience said that, can SnackX handle IT issues like server crashes? Yeah, I mean, absolutely, SnackX can detect, downtime alert, IT teams instantly, and, even triggers automated recovery workflows. So yeah, let's just head to our second question. It says, is SnackX only for factories? I mean, no. IT, healthcare, airports, hotels, logistics, anywhere incident can happen. And to be very honest, SnackX fits in. So yeah, it can. So the third question says that, how is SnackX different from WhatsApp groups for reporting? So WhatsApp, spread panics. Sorry, wait. This is my dog, but ignore them. So yeah, WhatsApp spreads, panic, and SnackX spreads solution. So it sends alert, assign task, and and even track, your resolution. So yeah, let's just head to our fourth question. The fourth question says that, can SnackX integrate with ERP or CRM? Yes. Why? Because it integrates smoothly with ERP and CRM, IoT devices even, and other enterprise systems. So yeah, let's just head to our fifth question. The fifth question says that, what about false alarms? Will SnackX try Wolf? Okay, no. You know, it it's AI. It's AI is training to recognize patterns and reduce false positives. By learning from every incident. So yeah, let's just head to our sixth question. That says, does SnackX replace humans? Not at all, not at all. It empowers humans by removing chaos and, giving them time to act, smarter, safer. So, no, not at all. So, okay, the seventh question says that, can SnackX predict future risk? Yes, absolutely. It uses AI, trend analytics to, predict where risk might happen, before they do. So yeah, let's just head to our eighth question. And the eighth question says that, how fast is the response? I mean, in a millisecond, I guess, because SnackX is faster than your boss replying, okay, on WhatsApp. So yeah, let's head to our ninth question. And the ninth question says that, can small businesses use SnackX, or is it only for big enterprise? Honestly, it scales beautifully because the startups, SMEs, and the large enterprise can all benefit from them. So yeah, and the last question. So what I would be doing is, I'll let you guys guess for the last question. Yeah, so we'll meet in the next live stream. Bye bye.